Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another fitness educational video slash guide. I wouldn't really say this one's much of a guide as such. This one's more addressing kind of the ugly truth of mental health correlations with the fitness industry. And just want to make sure this isn't muted. Okay, I probably should have done that before I started. But yeah, this one's going to be a little bit more kind of if it's really worth going to the gym. And of course, from my perspective, it will be. However, there's a couple of things that will mention social media and a couple of negatives that you might encounter during your fitness journey. And this can be used as a helpful tool to kind of know what to expect. So let's dive right in. Who am I to speak on this topic? I was a very big procrastinator when it came to getting in shape, often postponed my health, ate poorly, had zero motivation and nothing to do all day. Lack of discipline put me in a hole that I struggled to get out of. We've all tried to get rid of this kind of same procrastination type mindset. However, these are all symptoms of poor mental health. So without fixing your mental health, you will never enjoy the gym, and this journey will be very lonely if you don't enjoy it. So let's dive straight in. My goal: I aim to create fitness content easy to consume while also documenting my fitness journey. I'm learning as I go along, so please use what's helpful and completely forget the rest. Subscribe to my YouTube at masculine_mastery PT for these free videos that I post weekly, and you can learn something new every week instead of subscribing to the high dopamine videos that you don't really learn too much. It's just kind of entertainment. To help you not make the same mistakes as me, a lot of people struggle going to the gym. So if you want extra help, this is where a plug comes in. So again, skip 20-30 seconds if you don't want to hear me plug my stuff. Send a DM to at masculine_mastery_PT on Instagram, and we can have a conversation about your situation and what I can do to help. Whether that be free advice or one-to-one coaching, one spot left in my Summer Shreds program. I'd love to be of service. And again, summer is coming to an end, so I would say act quick, because that will probably end up going through into the December times, and that's where a lot of people tend to give up, and that's where you can get ahead of 99% of people if you go to the gym during these times. So let's start this with my story, and I just wanted to quickly say as well that there might be a couple of spelling mistakes in here, but again, I don't really care. You're still going to understand everything I need to get across. And for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you can also see that I did have a bit of a kitchen nightmare this early afternoon, but that's not part of the video. I would often use escapism through video games, and if you guys don't know what escapism is, basically just trying to get away from real life through video games, as this was a way to create a different identity. I could be anything in this video game, and in video games, I could be an athlete, knight, sharpshooter, whatever. Going to video games was like basically being a different person. I get to immerse myself in these different lives, which meant my mental health was skewed, and it wasn't really accurate to, I'm not even in shot here, was not accurate according to what I wanted to achieve. When you are stuck in an area that is negative for you, you are stuck in almost a fight or flight system. So, your body does not naturally like this at all when you're in a negative situation. So it only gives it two options, with they can kind of fight against the escapism, or they can kind of run away with like your average life. So this is everything we're going to cover today. The ugly truth about losing weight, how to have seasons of fat loss and muscle building, why people's mental health depletes and when they don't see results, body dysmorphia, how social media can damage your mental health, and dual intervention ranges and how they impact your goals. Perfect. Okay. The ugly truth. When you start the gym, The thing you want to do the most is to lose fat. Everyone wants to lose fat, but no one wants to go to the gym. Not many people want to go to the gym and build up muscle. I think it's more of an obesity problem than a skinny problem or a lack of muscle problem, which again, that's the complete opposite, I would say. However, learning how to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time is the problem for most people. Losing fat is easy, but without a foundation will leave you completely with a malnourished frame. So I don't know if you've ever seen me before I started working out, but that is basically what I mean. You will lose strength and feel 10 times worse than you felt before. And this is why I always have suggested to have seasons of building muscle at a more comfortable stage and saving leanness for events, holidays, or anything else that requires you to look toned, in quotations, because really tone's not an actual thing, but everyone wants to look more toned, in quotations there. But I would say that I wouldn't change anything about your diet in the first month or two of going to the gym. I think that naturally changes itself. So when you kind of start going to the gym, you naturally want to gear more towards the higher protein foods or the yogurts or the eggs, like the simple one ingredient foods. Because you don't want to make your progress almost go to waste, if you know what I mean. That just, it doesn't make much people. I've dropped the mic. Oops, hold on. So I would say a month or two finding your strength initially, and then once you have that baseline strength, then you can either go ahead of that while losing fat, or you can obviously try maintain as much as you can, because when you eat less calories, your body's not going to have as much energy, so you're naturally going to deplete in strength. But again, your muscles are going to look a lot bigger just because you're going to have that less fat. Okay, speaking of how to have seasons of fat loss and muscle building, the most common thing is to bulk through the winter, almost like hibernation in animals, is what I like to think of it anyway. This allows people that consistently start the new year, like the new me stuff, the new year, new me stuff. And this kind of helped them start taking it more seriously, because when January hits, that's when, not summer's around the corner, but it gives you that decent amount of time to build for summer and also just have that foundation ready. In the warmer weather, you're more likely to do activities like swimming, where you want to look good with your shirt off. So building strength for 7-8 months and then diet for 1 to 2 months is what I would suggest for most people, because that's a great way to balance all the negatives and the positives while being in shape. Because everyone wants to be in shape, but when you get into shape, your body just wants nothing. It doesn't like it. Because realistically, to get abs, you are depleting your body of nutrients. Not nutrients, but depleting it of energy and food. Because everyone needs fat to survive. And if you're going to low levels of body fat, it's going to be terrible. You're going to have terrible sleep, terrible mood. You're going to feel awful all the time. So, which these next few slides, which is going to really make you question if all of this is actually really worth being lean. Don't get me wrong, lean for a month or two is amazing for an event. Great. But I would say, as you can see, I've never really been lean. I've literally got a jumper on right now. So that says a lot. But as I say this, I'm going to try get to a level of leanness that will shock a lot of people, I think. Why people's mental health depletes when they don't see results. People just don't clarify their goals with enough intent, in my opinion. Not enough creating a plan or anything to track. You naturally don't notice any change, as it is often hard to see to the naked eye. So I'd say reverse your goal, set a realistic expectation to get there, but also don't tell yourself that there will be an be-all, end-all. So again, you can set your goal, but once you hit their goal, it's like what everyone always says, there's always another mountain to climb. Once you get to the peak of that mountain, there's always another peak that you can see, and you're always wanting to achieve more. So that's the thing with me. I've always set myself, like, if I hit this goal, if I get 100 kg bench press, if I get this, I won't say I'll be happy or I'll be like happy with my progress, because once I get there, I've already set myself a new goal of what I want to achieve. same with fat loss, same with pretty much anything in life, is that I'm always changing my goals. As you want to achieve, uh, will probably be difficult to get there, but will be a bit easy to take your foot off the gas when you actually get to your goal, which is one of the most important things, is that it's a lot more easier to maintain the result once you get there, because obviously you can eat a little bit more. I say it's actually it can be easy to get there, but in a sustainable way can be quite difficult sometimes. Okay, body dysmorphia. So, I don't know, I assume a lot of people have heard of this term already, but body dysmorphic disorder or body dysmorphia is a mental health condition where you spend a lot of time worrying about your appearance. Just that first sentence alone, I can already tell you 90% of people can relate to this. You may have body dysmorphic disorder if you worry a lot about how specific part of your body looks and how it affects your daily life. So again, with the gym, I will explain this, how it affects later on. But again, we have treatments for these like therapies and antidepressants, but we'll move on. So how does this actually relate to the gym? Every single day, you look better. You look to better your physique. That nearly didn't make sense there. Depending on your diet, training, recovery. You want to be as optimal as possible without it kind of affecting your fun in your life, basically. Since this requires a lot of work to change, it causes a sense of not seeing results based on the difficulty of work. So it's almost like you feel like you're working a lot more than the results that you're getting. And obviously, I'll be talking a bit more about social media after this as well, which often makes you look worse than you actually should, especially if you're comparing to other people and not your own progress. 10 to 12% of professional male weightlifters meet the criteria of symptoms of body dysmorphia, which is very worrying. But the society standard that men should be a protector and damaging men's mental health across the globe, which is it's quite bad to see it. In terms of me relating to this, I would say it's been parts of my weightlifting journey where I feel like I've not made the progress I should have, or I haven't looked as good, and I always think my genetics are terrible, but it gets to a point where you kind of just look and see, and there's nothing you can really do. Obviously, you can maybe train a bit harder, you can do this a little bit better, but I've obviously not really bothered about it anymore, because, like, what can I do? Okay, social media standards. Every fitness influencer or person who's ever posted a photo in the gym or gym environment, myself included, will always be in the best lighting, angle, and pump to make sure they've got the most engagement and compliments in their comment section. So again, search up Gymshark. I don't know why I put Gymshark 2 words, but Gymshark Instagram or anything to do with Gymshark with their advertising of clothes, and see the athletes they promote, where I say 50% of them, I would even probably up that to 90%, will be on PEDs, or performance enhancing drugs, and only look to build around, and only look that built around an hour or two of the 24 hours in a day. So again, like I said, pump, so that obviously lift before you take photos and get the blood rushing to the muscles to make them look big. Don't get me wrong, this is the culture of the brand that have obviously big athletes, but it always seems like there's a lack of truth with some of the athletes, because how many times have you seen like a Gymshark athlete maybe come out and announce that they're on these PEDs, and then they kind of almost get dropped? So it's almost like they're keeping it secret that they're not on, and almost creating a facade that they're on these, that they're not on these, and it can be achieved naturally, some of these physiques. And obviously, sometimes it can be elite level genetics, but for the averager like you or me, we're not gonna get anywhere close to this in our lifetimes, which is crazy to think. Okay, final point of today is the dual intervention ranges. So this relates to the set point theory as it pertains to human body weight. States that there is a biological control method in humans that actively regulates weight towards a predetermined set weight for each individual. So This is relating to body fat. So depending on genetics, there'll be a certain point on both ends. You can either be super lean or overweight, where your body will start to fight against your decisions. Like when you're being super lean, your hunger will naturally go through the roof. You'll sweat less, so your body will burn less naturally. Your sleep will suffer, and pretty much everything will it'll be like a random change all of a sudden. And you can guess what happens on the other end when you're being super overweight. You'll naturally probably go out of the house a little bit more. Again, this is determined on everybody's comfort zone. So my comfort zone might be closer to a higher BMI, where my BMI currently sits at about 25, 26, so just according to BMI overweight, but very distance to that. Compared to someone like David Laid, if you don't know who that is, he's been lean his whole life, basically one of the Gymshark athletes. Again, he could probably go to 6-7% body fat and still maintain that. If I did that, my body would probably be crying out for help. But again, if he went to 10 to 12% body fat, his body would be crying for help because he's too big. You know what I mean? Like, there's different ranges, and that's only really determined on genetics. Again, you can push past these comfort zones, especially if you've got like a bodybuilding show. However, obviously these symptoms will kind of hit soon. But that's everything for today, and I just wanted to go back to the final goal. If you enjoyed this video, then again, you can subscribe to the YouTube, you can DM me on Instagram, or if this is on TikTok, you can give me a follow. However, you can always send me a DM saying if you enjoy the content or if you want some free advice on anything that I've covered today or any of my other videos. However, that is me for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully these cuts on my fingers haven't been too much of a distraction. But it's a little bit more of a different video today, but I hope it was still educational. So that's everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.